بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Hi, I'm Faisal Qureshi,
And I'm Ayesha Tajwar.
and we're here with another perspectives. If you want to contact us, the email address is on your screen. Our Twitter accounts, our Facebook accounts are also on your screen, so you can be in touch with us. Ayesha, I want to say sorry.
You should be sorry. And you should say sorry to me every day morning.
No, thank you,
That's so convenient. Why would you say sorry to me?
because I'm not sorry.
Why are you not sorry? If you were at fault, then you should be sorry.
Who said I'm
right?
at fault?
You are. Majority of the times you
No, I'm not at fault. I just said sorry because it's decent to say sorry, even though you're at fault.
Oh no, then you're making me realize, listen, I'm so nice that I'm being sorry for your fault.
I'm glad you realize, and I'm glad
And then thank you.
Oh, you're more.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
For insulting me on...
I didn't insult you. I just
Yes.
apologized for something you've done.
But that's, very few people do that.
Well,
Say
you shouldn't
sorry
always
or
say
thank-
sorry for what other people have done, but you should say sorry.
For what you have done?
And also for what other people have done. Not all the time, but at least sometime.
Right.
Um,
And if you look around, then people would say, actually be sorry for what you have done, than being sorry for what they've done. Just to let you down.
Let you down. Put you down. What we're talking about is apologies and gratitude. A lot of countries, a lot of cultures, a lot of societies, it's very natural to say thank you and say sorry. And in many cultures it's not. New York, it's just not common for people to say sorry and thank you. But then to expand it further, a lot of people don't apologize even though they're in the wrong, because it's an ego thing. They just cannot say, "Oh God, I screwed up. I'm sorry."
That is so true.
They would say things like, "Oh, I'm sorry if I offended you. I didn't mean that, but I'm sorry if you felt bad."
And that just means, listen, I really don't care.
exactly.
But just to make you feel better in words, okay, fine.
Just to end this crap,
Yeah.
I'm going to say it. We don't actually apologize. It's very rare to say, "Oh my God, I'm really, really sorry.
Right.
I was wrong." And that's pretty much common for all cultures. It depends on individuals, but some cultures, at least there is an apology. And thank you is sad, because I've traveled a lot of places in this world, and often you open the door for someone and they think you're the doorman. They don't even bother to say thank you. Just walk
Yeah,
through.
and if you give someone way or you give them a place to sit, then they will be like, listen, it was your duty to give me that.
Yeah,
So,
in the car, if you stop for somebody and give them the way, nobody bothers to say thank you. Nobody bothers to, it's just like, oh, it was my right to, to do it.
Yeah.
And that's what we want to talk about today. And especially in some place like Japan, a lot of sorry and a lot of thank you, and they take it very honorably.
And not just with words, with gestures
Yes.
also. They would smile at you, they would just nod their head.
But India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, these countries, it's God. I think you have to pay for an apology and pay double to get a thank you from people. Why do you think is that? What's your opinion?
I think it's more of an ego problem. It is also that people don't know how to communicate, especially with a stranger, with an unknown person. So if you and I are driving on the road, you in a separate car, I in a separate car, and if I drive wrong or I come in your way, and you would keep honking, and I'll be like, whatever, I'm right.
Yeah.
And even if I bump into your car,
Is it an ego, Ayesha, or is it just a very crass and rude attitude where why should I say
why?
so?
There you go. That is an ego.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
That is an ego, right? Why should I be sorry, or why should I thank you for giving me way or opening the door for me? Oh no, in these regions, if you open the door for me, I'm like, he's probably flirting.
Right. Okay.
Probably wants to be in the good books.
In some cultures that is true.
Scoring points, huh?
Yeah. So you're flirting if I've opened the door
Right.
for you,
Yeah.
and they look at you funny,
Yeah.
and they don't, or they just walk right through as if you're transparent, you're an automatic door puller or something.
Yeah.
So the point here is that to be grateful for things and to apologize is, I think, the fundamentals of polite social behavior.
And that shows in the entire environment that you're in. Like, if you, for instance, before this show, we were talking about Thailand.
Yeah.
The minute you walk
God,
in at the
yes.
airport,
The Swadika,
and the welcome and the smile, the gestures, the culture, it's so welcoming.
Yeah.
And you actually would want to go there again and again and again. Because people are so warm and happy.
At times they're so nice, it's
Yeah.
almost irritating.
Yeah,
It's almost like, enough, don't thank me so much.
that's true.
And they just, they're just constantly doing it, which is amazing. And even if they're being rude, they're rude very, very politely. And I think that's a reflection on cultures, on religions, on society, the way people are brought up. But even in the US, even in Europe, a lot of countries, they're just kind of crass. A lot of people are just crass. There is an individual thing, but there's a cultural overtone as well.
I wouldn't generalize this because I've been to places where I've seen good and bad both.
Okay.
Even if you're talking about places like India and Pakistan or Bangladesh, there are certain people who would say thank you. There are certain people who would apologize for their mistakes.
Rare, right?
Very rare. But they do exist.
Sure.
Even if
decency
you're talking
is
about
everywhere.
US or UK, or if you're talking about Britishers, a lot of Britishers will have that attitude of not talking to you because you belong to a certain country. But there are those who would be nice and helpful and welcoming and
But for even for them, thank you is not so difficult. But sorry is a pain.
Yeah. I think sorry for us as an individual, as a human being, is just in our nature, if I may say. Not restricted to any particular region or country. It's just it's just my ego issue.
Even in relationships, I'm going to deflect slightly.
Relationship, please. There's nothing as thank you and sorry, okay?
Well,
I should not be sorry because you are responsible for whatever you've done to me.
Right, even though you're the one who's...
That's another story.
Exactly. So in romantic relationships, when you say relationships, I'm not talking about siblings and parents,
No.
romantic relationships, sorry is like, if I say sorry to you, if I apologize for something I've done, it's like the world will come to an end, then the relationship would shatter. And if only we'd realize it's okay to say sorry. It's okay to...
Just to make that relationship work.
Yeah, and it's
A
also...
lot of sorries are said just to get things out.
I was about to say that. It's also important to feel sorry.
And not just say sorry.
If you and I are in a relationship, and regardless of which we're not, you have to give this disclaimer, right? Now, if you're not in a relationship, regardless of who's made the mistake, in the end we would both suffer.
Yes.
And it is perfectly all right for whoever to say sorry or apologize and heal the situation. And then when you're calmer, you can still talk about it. We can still discuss the problem.
Right.
But you have to stop and this lack of apology. And interestingly, we want to be apologized to. Oh, you didn't say sorry to me that time.
Yeah.
And that
We
leads
always want to be apologized.
we want to be
would
apologized
not
to,
want
but we don't want to apologize.
Yes.
And that leads to more and more fighting. And that leads to more
That
and
just
more
worsens.
trouble.
Yep.
And eventually relationships just collapse.
So, yeah.
So my advice to our friends would be to be quick to apologize. A lot of people think if you apologize, you have looked like you've been fooled, or you've got the short end of the stick. It's not so.
Yeah.
Be the bigger one.
You don't become small. Also, say sorry when you really feel it from inside. Because once you just say it for the sake of apologizing, that shows that you can just see it on your face.
At times, I would apologize just to pacify the moment, and then
That's what you do most
and then
of the
come back
time.
and revisit. I will revisit eventually.
But not everyone revisits.
Even if you don't revisit, I said a lot of fights are really just frivolous and useless. They don't serve any purpose. They just fight for the sake of fighting. Like the times you fight with me, it's just for the sake of fighting.
Seems like you've had a lot of experience, but okay.
Listen, I am surrounded by women in this office, which means I am the punching bag here,
Right.
and I end up apologizing 5 times a day.
Let's not go there.
Now, let's not go there because you've been caught out. But on a serious note, I don't agree with that. You should always mean the apology and then say it. Because you've done something wrong. If there's a real problem, yes, you should mean it. But generally, and again in relationships, many times
You
All
just
the-
say sorry just to smoothen things out.
And also the fights are really...
Yeah,
They're about nothing
I agree.
serious.
But at
They're just
times that
useless
when there's
fights.
serious no, I was referring to the times when there's serious fights and when you're at fault and you would just say sorry for the sake of
No,
ending
that's
that
crap.
argument.
No, that's crap.
That is what I was referring to. What you're saying is also right. That at times that there are issues that are not so important, but
Yeah.
they become, a huge thing in life,
Yeah.
and everything just stops there. So that's
And
the point when you just
exactly.
need to smoothen thing, get on the way, and
Like
finish
8
it.
times a day when your wife is bashing you up, you just say sorry and get out of the situation.
I think I
right?
need to speak to your wife.
Do not let her see this one. So my advice is apologize. Be the first one to apologize. It'll make you the bigger person. And make up. Don't fight. Don't argue. It's
It's all right.
it's
to
all right.
apologize.
And we should do another show on fighting as well in
And maybe you
relationships.
should get your wife.
Please do.
And I hope we get to see more of him after this show, which I'm not
If-
too sure of.
if she still lets me breathe. But say sorry, say thank you. Please show gratitude in one way or the other.
And
to-
that thank you, also, I'm sorry to cut
Yeah,
you,
please,
but that
please.
thank you and sorry does not need to be just to the people that you know. If it's someone on the
Yeah,
road,
yeah.
if it's a stranger, it's all right. Just apologize or say thank you if someone has helped you.
or if you made a mistake, say
Yeah.
sorry. Be nice. The world. What's the song? What the world needs now is love, sweet love. What the world needs now is politeness, is niceness. There's too much war. There's too much fighting. There's too many differences globally. We're just arguing with each other. We're killing each other.
That
We-
has just affected us as an individual in our attitudes and our personality. So let's
and
try and
within
bring
countries
back.
and cultures and people and families.
Let's
and
try and
groups,
bring back the niceness and the happiness and the peace.
which
peace and
incidentally
everything.
all religions teach.
Yeah.
Every religion,
Not restricted to any region, any religion, any boundaries.
everyone
any
teaches that. It's just
nationalities.
decent. Please smile some more, apologize some more, thank a lot more, and let's just create a nicer world. Once again, if you want to write to us, the email's on the screen, and well, thank you for watching this one. Till next time.